Store salt in glass or ceramic. This choice determines your Feng Shui results. Part 1. Why this small detail is quietly blocking money flow. Store salt in glass or ceramic. This single choice can determine whether money energy settles in your home or slips away quietly. Many people say, I followed the salt ritual exactly, but my finances didn't improve. What almost no one explains is this: the problem is not the salt, it's what's holding it. In Feng Shui, results are not created by effort alone, they're created by alignment. And alignment fails when energy has nowhere to settle. Today, we're going to talk about why glass and ceramic behave completely differently, and how choosing the wrong container can silently cancel your Feng Shui results, especially when it comes to money, stability, and long-term prosperity. Stay with me, because once you understand this, you'll never treat salt as just salt again. Part 2. Containers are not decoration in Feng Shui. In classical Feng Shui, a container is never just a container. Anything that holds something, food, water, salt, rice, coins, is considered a vessel of qi. And vessels have a specific role. They determine how energy enters, how it behaves, and whether it stays or leaves. Gu Pu wrote that qi gathers where form allows it to remain. This means that even with perfect intention, the wrong form prevents qi from settling. Modern Feng Shui often skips this teaching. It focuses on ingredients, symbols, and affirmations, but it forgets the behavior of materials. And materials behave very differently, especially glass and ceramic. Part 3. How energy actually behaves, not how we want it to. Energy does not obey desire, it obeys structure. This was emphasized repeatedly by the Feng Shui master Yang Yun Song, who taught, form commands qi, intention only guides it. Modern psychology confirms the same principle. The nervous system responds not to what we wish, but to what the environment consistently signals. This is why environment shapes behavior. Behavior shapes decisions, and decisions shape financial outcomes. So before we even ask which is better, we must ask something more important. What kind of signal does this container send to the mind and to qi? Part 4. Glass, the material of activation and movement. Glass is not wrong, but glass is active. Energetically, glass reflects, amplifies, exposes, reacts to light, motion, and attention. Because glass is transparent, it allows energy to interact constantly with its surroundings. This makes glass suitable for candles, short-term rituals, clarity and awareness work, intention setting that is temporary. But here is where problems begin. When glass is used for salt intended to stabilize money, the energy never rests. From a Feng Shui perspective, this creates continuous activation without containment. From a psychological perspective, it mirrors a nervous system that never fully relaxes, and money does not accumulate in a state of constant alert. Part 5. Why people feel it almost worked. This is one of the most common experiences people don't talk about. It felt like something shifted, but then it stopped. Often, this happens because the container keeps stimulating energy instead of allowing it to mature. In cognitive behavioral psychology, this is called lack of consolidation. New patterns, financial, emotional, behavioral, only stabilize when the nervous system feels safe enough to settle. If the environment keeps signaling exposure, motion, or urgency, the brain stays in monitoring mode. Monitoring mode supports survival, not growth. This is why money may pass through your life, but never stay. Part 6. Ceramic, the material of grounding and retention. Ceramic behaves in the opposite way. Ceramic is opaque, dense, grounding. In Feng Shui, ceramic belongs to the earth element. Earth energy governs nourishment, stability, patience, consistency, long-term accumulation. Yang Yun Song taught, "Earth does not rush, it receives and matures fortune." Ceramic does not amplify energy, it contains it. It allows qi to slow down, to settle, to integrate. This is why traditional feng shui uses ceramic for salt containers, grain storage, long-term prosperity practices. Ceramic sends a powerful energetic message. This is safe to stay, and money responds to safety.
Part 7. Does ceramic really need a cover? Does ceramic really need a lid in Feng Shui? The answer surprises most people. Ceramic naturally holds and stabilizes energy. That's why in calm areas of the home, it usually doesn't need a cover. But here's what changes everything. The stove is fire energy. Fire constantly activates, dries, and agitates what's nearby. So when ceramic sits next to a stove, a lid isn't about blocking qi, it's about protecting it from overexposure. Glass activates and disperses energy. It always needs restraint. Ceramic stabilizes, but near fire, it benefits from a boundary. In Feng Shui, it's not about rigid rules. It's about matching the container to the environment. That's how energy settles and money stays.
Part 8. When glass can be used and when it should not. Glass can still be used when the intention matches its nature. Glass is appropriate for temporary rituals, clarity work, short-term intention setting. If glass is used with salt, it must be covered, simple, left untouched, placed away from constant movement. But if you find yourself adjusting it often, checking it repeatedly, or feeling unsettled around it, that is a sign the container is not supporting the goal.
Part 9. Cleanliness, the foundation before any flow. This part matters more than material choice. In Feng Shui, qi responds to usefulness, integrity, vitality. A dirty container signals neglect. A cracked container signals leakage. An unused container signals postponed intention. Psychologically, these send micro-messages. I tolerate incompletion. I accept small losses. I delay resolution. Over time, this conditions financial behavior. That's why cleansing always comes before activation.
Part 10. Why cleaning must extend beyond the jar. Qi does not recognize compartments. Cleaning one object while the surrounding space remains chaotic creates contradiction. Gua Pu taught, when one space is clear and another is not, qi hesitates. From a psychological standpoint, consistency is required for change to register. Cleansing is environmental, not symbolic. Part 11. The question you should really ask. The real question is not, is glass or ceramic better? The real question is, what kind of energy do I need right now? If you need stability, grounding, money retention, long-term prosperity, ceramic is the correct choice. If you need clarity, awareness, short-term activation, glass can serve, briefly. Feng Shui is not rigid, it is responsive. Part 12. How to use the salt correctly, without diluting the effect. Once you understand which container supports your intention, a next question becomes unavoidable.
How is this practice actually meant to be used and completed without weakening its effect? This question comes up often, and it matters. When salt is used in Feng Shui for energy alignment or money flow, it is not meant to be reused for cooking. From a symbolic and traditional perspective, salt in this practice functions as a passive purifier. It absorbs stagnant, excess, or unbalanced influences from the space, especially from the kitchen, which is one of the most energetically active areas of the home. Once salt absorbs energy, it completes a role. It is no longer neutral. This is why ancient Feng Shui treated cleansing substances as single-purpose tools, not reusable ingredients. For best results, place the salt in a ceramic container, position it on the right side of the stove, and leave it undisturbed for 7 to 9 days. The right side of the stove is traditionally associated with where excess or unresolved energy tends to collect. This placement allows the salt to quietly absorb what no longer serves the space without active intervention. After the cycle is complete, discard the salt respectfully. You don't need elaborate rituals. Pouring it down the sink with running water is enough. Water returns the absorbed energy to flow. Then wash the container, dry it completely, and return the space to normal. This step matters psychologically as well. Completion trains the mind to recognize closure. Closure strengthens trust. Trust supports consistency. Consistency supports financial stability. As always in Feng Shui, simplicity and intention matter more than rigid timing. When the practice is treated with clarity instead of anxiety, energy settles instead of resisting.
Part 13. What to do with the coin and why it's different from the salt. This question comes up often, and it reveals a deeper principle. When the 7 or 9 days are complete, remove the coin first. The coin and the salt do not serve the same role. The salt absorbs. The coin circulates. Salt completes its purpose and is released. The coin continues its purpose and stays with you. Before discarding the salt, take the coin out gently. Rinse it under running water, dry it completely, and then choose how it continues its role. You may keep the coin in your wallet, place it back near the stove with fresh salt, or store it in a clean drawer as a symbol of continuity and flow. The specific currency does not matter. What matters is that the coin is clean, intact, and respected. In Feng Shui, coins are not about value, they're about movement. They represent circulation, exchange, and the ongoing relationship with money. This is why the coin is never discarded with the salt. The salt purifies what is stagnant. The coin reminds energy and the mind to keep moving. Psychologically, this matters as well. Keeping the coin reinforces a subtle message. I don't discard prosperity, I carry it forward. That message shapes behavior. Behavior shapes decisions, and decisions shape financial outcomes. This is not about ritual perfection. It's about understanding roles and honoring continuity.
Final message. This choice may seem small, but small choices compound. Energy either settles or it keeps passing through. When Feng Shui doesn't work, often it worked exactly as the environment allowed. Choose the container that matches your intention. Because in Feng Shui, how energy is held determines whether it stays.